Imagine the African Union meeting. Expect to discuss strategies on boosting education, economic integration, and peace. This bunch of old men, look at them. What? What can? They haven't done it in 60 years, and they're talking about meeting now to do it because the young people are now talking about getting rid of them. Useless people.
Greetings, everyone. It's early morning. Beautiful sky. I remember growing up, and I listened to the old people talking. They say when the sky looked like this, the fishing is good. And from what I remember, my auntie would always take me down to the village fish market in Bathsheba and collect her fish, because that's where our family was from, and we had quite a few people in the family who were fishermen at the time. Plus everybody knows each other, and even if you don't get fish from one, you get fish from the other. But today, we've been convinced that individuality is the thing. And so, the world is separated. And the funny thing is that this separation is based on an experiment that most people didn't comprehend at the time and still don't today. You talk to black people today and they figure out that they were singled out. And even if they say that things used to be bad, it says, oh, things are better today. We don't have to worry about that, until the shock by something really bad happening to them that used to happen to almost everybody 10, 15, 20, 50 years ago. But such is the world. But the individuality, look at that. Birds watching the sunrise. The sun is over here. And look at all of them. Big ones, small ones, all watching the sunrise. Interesting. Most people don't do it. Even when they have the time, they don't do it. But anyway, which direction do I go in now? Let's go down this way. Anyway, the individuality that was born out of slavery. You see, it was practiced in slavery. They didn't allow black people to form a family unit. And Caucasians too thought that, oh, this is only for black people. It's only going to happen to black people. Welcome to today. Welcome to today. And they Caucasians with their mentality are now trapped in the individuality mode. Tell them freedom is you can do anything you want. And for a time, they were able to. For a time, they were able to. But now, the time is up. The implosion has begun. And on the opposite side of that implosion is an explosion in the rest of the world of people getting together, people finding a way of working together, not separate, not that separateness is what killed a lot of the world's leaders. A lot of the world's leaders who started out to do things that, well, when I say world leaders, I'm talking about African leaders who saw this need for a cohesiveness and wanted to begin building it. But you got other Africans who they wanted power so bad that they couldn't see, blind to what would happen. The first of them to be taken out was the man from Ethiopia. And slowly but surely, all of the people who vision of cohesiveness should have been accepted and promoted, they were taken out, and was left is the gang today that what would I call them? Calling them corrupt is not even. You tell the devil that he's wicked, and he's going to smile at you and say, "Welcome to paradise." So I don't even call them people wicked anymore. This is. They have to be taken out. So while the rest of the world is moving towards a more cohesive plan, they are still fighting to be individuals with their own little armies that steal all the resources from Africa, put it in their bank accounts in Europe and America, and suitcases in their houses and on their farms. Stolen for what purpose? Not even them know. They don't even know the reason why they are rich. The ignorance The level of ignorance is so high among them. Turn around and go back. Let's see if we get across the road. Well, you got China and India, people who have been fighting each other because of that individuality that the Caucasian brought in. They discovered that he said, man, these people as individuals, they keep killing us off one by one. The poor African can't see it. It has to be, now he's being dragged into. That means somebody has to come and grab him by the collar, as the old people used to say about it, and drag him kicking and screaming into a coalition to unite. It says, hey, unity is better than individuality. You can see what happened to Gaddafi and other people. Even the Saudis who joined in to kill Gaddafi now see that what Gaddafi says is true. They're going to come for you. And they did. And the old man stepped down. He convinced all the other old men in Saudi Arabia to step down and let the young people get up and do their thing. You guys didn't see it like that, I guess. But Saudi Arabia is changing. So is the Arab world. There's still a lot of them that are into, you know, they're on the other side. But they're changing. The war that the Palestinians fighting in Israel has stopped them from making deals with the Zionists. They're so embarrassed of what's happening to the Palestinians, or the rest of the world is making them so embarrassed that now they're either silent or speaking softly about the matter. Anyway, the African, the old men let themselves be convinced that, well, they were given the plan for 2063, but not enough intelligence to see that that 2063 plan was only put in place to give the Caucasian, the European, the time to re-enslave them. And their focus is just on how much money they can steal and hide away in Europe, just in case an uprising came and their army turned against them. They weren't worried about the people themselves. They were worried about their own army turning against them. And there's still some of them who got the army under control now. Uganda, you know, Museveni thinks he's safe, and he talks loud. He makes a lot of Greek speeches, which all African leaders have that gift of garb. But this thing is spread all the way to Jamaica now. Holiness is under under pressure. Holiness is under pressure. So me, I'm looking at the world and seeing that the only place that the individuality is still persisting is in Europe and America. The Africans there are not, they're not coalescing. There's still one slave master or the other. They fight with each other. Which slave master is the best? Even those who said they're the best educated, most educated, they make more money than anybody else. Have no values. Values are not even the devil is walking away from them. Those of you who decide that you want to live in Africa, leave the place where you are and go live in Africa. Prepare yourself for the upheaval, because it is going to get worse. Electric carts died. I was planning on buying one of those, but after I saw that they had lead acid batteries in it, I decided not to. Anyway, you got to prepare yourself. Stop looking at people who say, I'm building this £1 million or €1 million house in Kenya, and Gambia, and South Africa, and Congo, Liberia. Start looking at what the government there is doing to raise up its people. Because in that case, you'll be able to give a hand. You come in with knowledge, I hope. And more people are going to come out of poverty in time. You got to look at China and compare it to India. Population is almost the same. But China raised more than half its population out of poverty. 3/4 of India's population is in poverty. And Indians who are wealthy and consider themselves to be a first-class nation can't see the difference. They want to fight with China still. But still, they're seeing that is necessary to part of the cohesive nation. Well, Africa hasn't reached that state of mind yet, but it's growing. It started with 3 in West Africa, and now the old men are beginning to saying, well, we'll give you whatever you want. But while they are trying to talk and move the money, like I said in the video yesterday, the money stolen in Nigeria one day can build roads in every village, schools in every village, and hospitals in every state, with training schools and the best doctors brought back. All that can be done in about 3 years. But the wickedness, like the devil is laughing when you tell him that he's wicked. Anyway, they're laughing all the way to the bank, as some people used to say when I was growing up. Hope you enjoy the walk and view of the mountains. I do like the trees, and this is such a beautiful landscape. And you have it wherever you are too, but you don't pay attention to it. And the second thing, in Africa, it is not maintained. It's not. I used to have this running joke about Africans. They would cut down all the grass and leave the dust to blow away. Every year after rainy season, they cut all the grass. Nothing plant for the next 8 to 9 months. Just dust blowing away. You gotta change that mentality. Can't see, for 60 years they've been going to the UN, US and Europe begging for money for wells. I can't see that if you keep that water in the ground, you can use it. Anyway, peace. Have a great day wherever you are. Remember, don't go to Africa unless you're prepared. You're going to get trapped between those rich Africans and the poor people, because you are seen as an outsider right now. But you're tolerated because of your money. But when or if the slaughter starts, like in Uganda, not Uganda, Rwanda, what are you going to do? Peace.